The elevator doors closed. I don't see why you have to go up to his suite. Babe, I already told you, I have serious credit card debt and he's a freaking Saudi prince. He tips better than anyone. Yeah, but having to go up to his private suite. He's been very respectable so far. Yeah, maybe in public. But what do you think he expects behind closed doors? The elevator kept traveling up to the penthouse. I don't care what he expects because he's not getting any. And he said he just wanted a good drink and some good conversation. There's only one man I love and that's you, silly. She grabbed my face and kissed me. I'll come in to make sure he knows to be on his best behavior. I would expect nothing less, babe, and I'll text you as soon as I step out. I grew nervous to ask her, are we still on for tomorrow night? Of course. We have an appointment, don't we? Yeah, which is so weird. I never thought I'd actually be making an appointment to get married. Yeah, that's Vegas for you. But like we said, it's just to make things official, and then we can throw the big party later. Besides, I love that it's our little secret. I love it too. I wear this when I'm at home in private. She pulled out the engagement ring I gave her. Love flooded my heart. I can't wait to share it with the whole world. We reached the penthouse floor, and I walked her up to the prince's door. It opened before we could knock, and we entered. The prince's bodyguard escorted us into the living room that had a view of the Vegas Strip. The prince was sitting by the window in his bathrobe. His eyes lit up when he saw Adriana, but lost his excitement when he saw me. I don't remember asking for any male help. You can see yourself out, Mr. Concierge. I will shortly. I just wanted to make sure Adriana gets all squared away and let you know that our hotel policy does not allow any employee relations that aren't completely professional. The prince giggled. And who enforces these supposed rules? You? He shared a grin with his bodyguard and then looked me up and down. I will do whatever I want to do. You won't do shit to stop me, you stupid-looking little man. My fists clenched, but before I could respond, Adriana stepped in. Now boys, there's enough of me to go around and please everyone and not in any unprofessional way. I offer great conversation and fantastic service. That's it. She took my hand, led me towards the front door and whispered, don't worry, babe. I got this. I love the hell out of you for always protecting me though. I caressed her face and left, concerned. I headed back down to my concierge desk and clocked out. Then, as I usually do, I went to the bar and had a drink. Adriana usually met me when she was off of work, but tonight was different. As the minutes ticked by, I kept staring at the clock. 12, 1, 2. It was close to 3 a.m. when the Saudi prince's bodyguard came down the elevator and spotted me. He was covered in sweat and waved me over to join him in the elevator. What's wrong? You are what they call the fixer, right? Yes. We have a problem. My heart started pounding because I hadn't heard from Adriana. We arrived at the penthouse and I entered to see the prince sitting in a chair by the window smoking a cigar and sipping on a whiskey. What happened? Where is Adriana? So that was her real name. She lied and told me her name was Scarlett. Devious little bitch. The prince giggled. Where is she? Before I tell you, let me explain what happened. My throat tightened with terror. As you heard her say, I only wanted her here for some nice conversation and one drink. But when she saw how wealthy I am, she started to make advances on me. I rejected her, told her to leave because I was feeling uncomfortable, and then she got aggressive. Look, he showed me the side of his face that had 3 claw marks on it. She brutally attacked me, and when I tried to run away, she charged at me, slipped, and hit her head on the edge of that lamp. I looked at the base of a lamp that had a sharp edge and saw that it was covered in blood. I immediately wasn't believing a word of this. So, let me get this straight. She came on to you, and when you said no, she attacked you. Yes, I'll ask again. Where is she? He pointed to the bathroom. I looked over and saw her legs sticking out as she was laying on the floor. My hands trembled in fear as I headed towards her. The closer I got, the more blood I saw around her. She was laying down on her back. Her head had a huge cut on it, and her eyes were wide open. She was gone. I closed my eyes in a quiet agony. No, Adriana. I was so enraged I wanted to run back into the living room, grab this arrogant, lying prince and hurl him out of the window, but I knew that I would have to find justice in some other way. Her face, arms, and legs were all covered in bruises, proving to me that he beat her up badly before ending it. I grabbed a towel, choked back tears, and took a few deep breaths. I had to gather myself before saying anything else to this entitled prick. Plus, I couldn't let on what our relationship was. We were engaged in secret because of hotel work policy. No one knew. I covered her with a towel and walked back into the living room. The prince was staring at me, eating cake without a care in the world. So, Mr. Fixer, how do you propose we fix this? I noticed that she was covered in bruises and cuts all over her body. How did she get so beaten up? The prince licked the bits of cake off of his fat fingers. She was drunk, and as she was attacking me, she kept banging into the walls, acting crazy. I have a witness. He looked over to his bodyguard, and he nodded in agreement. I saw the whole thing. But what we need from you is to make this problem problem go away, Mr. Fixer. Obviously, we cannot notify any of the authorities. I cannot have another diplomatic issue. I mean, I am already dealing with so many of these little disruptions." He giggled again, and I wanted to rip his head off. I had never wanted to murder someone more in my entire life. The nerve of this wealthy dick was shocking. You understand, right? I stayed eerily still, very careful of what I showed him. "I will need you to get rid of her body. I don't care where. My bodyguard will help you dispose of the little hoe." I clenched my fists, gritted my teeth. The prince watched me closely, sensing that I was troubled. "I'm having my guy do it with you, just in case you get any ideas to contact the authorities. Because I will tell you right now, if you go against me, you will be thrown into the same ditch as her. Am I making myself clear?" Out of the corner of my eye, I saw his bodyguard place his hand near his waistband and next to a gun. I had no choice but to agree. Understood. Every fiber in my being was on fire and excruciating pain as I grabbed a cleaning cart and we wrapped up Adriana in a few towels and placed her underneath the cart where she couldn't be noticed. I waited for the bodyguard to look away, then pulled out the engagement ring I bought her and pocketed it. It was extremely difficult for me to do this with a blank expression on my face. We took her down to the back employee entrance of the hotel and transported her into the trunk of the bodyguard's SUV. "You drive." I got into the driver's seat and thought about going straight to the FBI. Then I glanced over and saw him staring at me with his hand near his gun. We drove out to a remote spot in the desert. "Give me your driver's license." "Why?" "Because I said so." "No." He pulled out his gun and cracked me across the face. I tasted blood and guts burned with hatred. I won't ask again. I knew that if I gave it to him, he would know everything about me. My address, full name, everything. Again, I didn't have a choice. I handed it over, and he took a picture of it with his phone. We pulled over and got out. He tossed me a shovel. "Start digging." As I started, I got a text from Adriana's mother that read, "Adriana told me about the wedding. I can't tell you how thrilled I am. You two have such a bright future ahead." I swallowed a lot of pain when I thought about having to tell her the truth. An hour later, the love of my life was buried, and I was back at the hotel desk. The prince had single-handedly ruined my life, and I quietly swore to myself that I would do everything in my power to literally destroy this man. No matter what the cost was to me personally, it didn't matter. No one should be allowed to get away with this. I looked at the prince's account on my computer and saw that he was set to check out the next night at 7 p.m., which meant I had less than 12 hours to expose him. He has diplomatic immunity, and if I let him get back on his private jet, he'll be gone forever. This is a federal issue, so I went straight to the FBI. I sat across from Agent Barstow and told him everything. I thought about trying to take the bodyguard's gun, but I had no leverage and he was glued to me. I felt so guilty that I couldn't have done more. "That's okay. It's not your fault, but unfortunately, I have bad news for you." I perked up. Diplomatic immunity cases require a 72-hour intake review. We wouldn't even be able to question him until that was done. "But he's leaving tonight, and you know what that means." "I do. I'm sorry, but my hands are tied." "Isn't there some rule that can speed that up? This dick's trying to get away with murder." The agent just shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. I left, deeply disheartened. The American justice system always has been severely compromised. As soon as I returned to the hotel, I went into the business center, hopped online, and did a deep dive on the prince, and found a reporter by the name of Carla Green. I found her on Instagram, and we met on a street corner an hour later. She got into my car and was already in tears as she handed me a thumb drive. "This is a courageous thing you're doing. That man has committed horrendous violence to me and so many women. All of us were beaten within an inch of our lives, and 3 of us didn't survive. I've personally spoken to 17 women that he's done this to. He needs to be stopped." We locked eyes, and I felt so much empathy for her. "I'm doing everything I can. Thank you. Everything you need is on here. Good luck." She handed me a thumb drive and stepped out. She headed towards her car. Then I heard what sounded like a firework going off. Carla's body spun around and dropped to the ground, dead. Someone fired the shot from across the street, but I couldn't tell who. I heard 2 more loud pops and heard bullets whiz by and bounce off of the asphalt. My heart pounded, and my adrenaline kicked in as I sprinted to my car in a panic. I hopped in and peeled out. As I was driving away, bullets kept flying and dinging off of the back of my trunk. I kept my head down, horrified. Then I quickly slipped the thumb drive into my laptop and saw a list of high-profile names of politicians, lawyers, senators, and 2 governors that were all linked to the prince. It also listed 17 women that were all deceased, their names, date of birth, and even their social security numbers. Carla has recorded everything the prince has been involved in since 2003. I hit the gas, kept seeing headlights behind me, and they were gaining fast. I hit the gas and passed by several cars. I took the first exit and raced into an industrial area. The car behind me was right on my tail. No matter how quick I went or how many turns I made, It stayed close. Then through my side mirror, I saw the prince's bodyguard lean out of the window, aim his rifle, and shoot at my back tires. I panicked, clutched onto the wheel, and felt my car lose control and swerve. I was peeling out sideways, and I saw a building approaching fast. I tried to slam on the brakes, but it was too late. I slammed into the edge of a building, and my car flipped over twice. My head crashed into the front windshield, and I almost lost consciousness. I was clutching onto the thumb drive and knew that I had to hide it. I couldn't find a place, so I swallowed the thing whole, then blacked out. I woke up in an empty warehouse, and I was tied to a chair. The prince and his bodyguard stood in front of me, and there were 3 more bodyguards behind them. The prince got in my face. "Why did you meet with that reporter?" I stayed quiet, trying to look as if I was confused. My stomach twisted in pain from the thumb drive. He lit a cigar and smiled. "My friend, do you think I'm stupid? I am extremely careful to know everything. How do you think I am able to keep such a clean record?" I was terrified that he would just decide to dispose of me. I had to come up with an intelligent lie and do it fast. "I met her to see what she knows about you." "Why?" "Because if you get exposed, so do I. I am on your side." He was taken aback. "I will ask you this one time, and if I think you are lying, my bodyguard will take you to the desert and bury you next to that stupid little hoe waitress." I gritted my teeth, felt indescribable rage. The insanity of this entitled, unaware idiot, and how little he values human life. I saw Adriana's face and felt a bitter sting because she was probably really nice to this piece of crap before he impulsively murdered her. At that moment, I didn't care if I had lost my life. "I will end this bastard." "What did you find out from that reporter?" My throat tightened. "She said that she thought you were covering up some stuff, but didn't have anything concrete on you." He got right in my face and stared into my eyes. "He's lying." My stomach dropped. "No, I'm not. That's what she said. I don't trust him. Take him out to meet his death. Bury him next to that stupid slut." I panicked. "I swear, I am not lying. If she had told me something, I would have told you. I'll also get into trouble." The prince turned his back on me as his bodyguard grabbed me and shoved me into the trunk of his SUV. I clutched my stomach. The pain was getting worse from the electronics rumbling around. I was terrified, but kept trying to gather my thoughts and make a plan. I searched the trunk for any weapons and didn't find anything. We arrived at the same spot where Adriana was buried and stopped. I decided to play dead, and he opened the trunk. Hey! He jabbed his gun into my side, and I didn't flinch, even though it hurt like hell. I was just biding my time and hoping for a chance to escape or do some damage to him. "Yo, wake up, fool!" I didn't budge. He put his gun in his waistband, reached in, grabbed me by my shirt collar, and dragged me out. I flopped onto the desert floor with a thud and felt my ribs crunch. "I can tell you're alive, you idiot. I can see you breathing. What kind of bullshit are you trying to pull, huh?" I was busted, so I opened my eyes. I noticed that his gun was still in waistband. He clearly didn't see me as a threat. He grabbed a shovel out of the back seat and tossed it at my feet. He went around to my back and cut open my zip ties. My heart was beating rapidly with fear and determination. If I was going to make a move, I had better make it now. I saw Adriana's face, unsure if it was her ghost or just an image in my mind's eye. Look at me with that supportive, confident glance she used to give me. That inspired me to keep fighting no matter how dark it got. I felt Adriana's engagement ring in my pocket and knew what I had to do. He got a text message as I reached down to pick up the shovel. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him read the text, so I gripped onto the handle of the shovel, turned it to have the sharp point facing up, and I swung it up at his face as hard as I could. The point of the shovel stuck into his neck and he was done before he hit the ground. I froze, couldn't look at him. I fix things, but I don't kill things. This was next level, and I knew right then that I would be forever changed. Realizing what I had done made me puke my guts out. Luckily, the thumb drive was a part of the mess, and I retrieved it. I dug a quick grave, placed the bodyguard into it, then took off. I noticed Adriana's face out of the corner of my eye again. She was smiling at me. "I'll do whatever it takes to get you justice, love." I checked the clock and saw that it was already 5 p.m. I had 2 hours before the prince was gone forever, and the memory of my beautiful Adriana was in vain. My heart ached when I thought of her. She did nothing but bring light and joy to people, and these bastards ripped that away from us. 30 minutes later, FBI agent Barstow was attaching a wire to me inside an unmarked van. He explained, "Now look, we need to get him in our custody and make it look like it was of his own choice and that he turned himself in. We cannot charge in and arrest him at all. It would go against international criminal laws and would get dismissed in court immediately. I don't care how you want to do it. You can lie, cheat, or do whatever. Just get him into our custody. I don't care what it takes. I'll bite the bastard's head off if I have to." He looked at me, a little surprised. As a fixer, I've become really good at spinning a story. I came up with a hell of a tale to tell the prince. I stood outside of his penthouse door, holding my manila envelope with my supposed evidence. I took a deep breath and nervously knocked. Another one of the prince's bodyguards opened the door and stared at me, confused. I need to talk to the prince, now. He went inside, whispered something to the prince, then waved me in. I entered and stood in front of the prince while he ate a huge spread of meat. His ugly face was covered in rib grease, a true display of gluttony. His fat belly hung over his waist as he stared at me with a mixture of surprise and indifference, as if I was a being that he had no more use for. "Where's my guy? And why are you here? Your guy was working with the CIA." He stopped eating. "No way in hell. Before you arrogantly dismiss that fact, take a look at these." I pulled out several pictures that I created with AI that showed his bodyguard speaking with 3 FBI agents and taking money. The prince's eyes widened. "Where is this bastard now? I took care of him because, like I said before, we're on the same side, you idiot." He glared at me, but I had to drive home my point and make my position believable. "I will not get busted for hiding the fact that you killed a cocktail waitress. I will not go down on that burning ship because the FBI knows about what you did." "How could they know? How do you think? Your traitor bodyguard that's currently buried out in the desert next to the waitress told them. So listen closely. I have reason to believe that more members of your team are compromised, so you can't leave in the same way. I've arranged a transport to get you to the airport right now. You need to get on your jet and go early. I would highly recommend leaving your team behind, except for your pilot, of course." He looked closely at his 2 other bodyguards and spoke in Farsi. They lowered their heads and walked out. "Gather your stuff. We need to go now. Don't give me your stupid commands. I am in charge here, not you. If that was true, you wouldn't need me to save your fat ass. Now hurry up." He went into his bedroom, tossed his stuff into a bag, and came out. In the elevator, he smiled at me and said, "I must say, I loved ending that dumb little waitress. She called out, 'Please, please don't hurt me,' and that only made me beat her more. I can't begin to tell you how much I enjoy ending pointless, meaningless little lives that will never be remembered. Me, I will be remembered for being great. You and all of your pathetic little helpers will never be remembered." I was so close to choking and ending him right then and there as sweat poured down my face as my fists clenched. I could barely breathe with how filled I was with hatred. It's people exactly like this that ruin our world. Their humanity has vanished, and all they want is power. Who are the people that are driving me? It's someone close to me that I trust to keep things very quiet. As we got closer to the garage level, I felt intense fear as my stomach churned. I was so close to pulling this off and felt like the hard part was over. Now all I had to do was get him into the SUV. We made it down to the bottom floor of the parking garage, stepped out, and I saw the FBI's SUV waiting for us about 30 feet away. "There he is. Let's go." We rushed over to the SUV and my adrenaline skyrocketed. I swung the door open and saw Agent Barstow and 2 more FBI agents dead in the back seat. My heart stopped. The prince shoved me. "What is this?" His 2 bodyguards came out of the shadows, machine guns drawn. "Your guy is a liar. That was the FBI we just took out." I was speechless, at a loss. The prince grabbed me by the neck. "End him now." I had to escape, so I kneed the prince in the nuts, then slammed an elbow across his temple, sending him to the ground in a daze. I took off running as his 2 bodyguards opened fire on me. I sprinted for my life as their bullets bounced off of the walls and cars, setting off many car alarms. I ran and hid behind a van and saw both of his bodyguards split up and start hunting me down. I heard a door open and saw 2 security guards rush in. I had to warn them. "They have guns. Arm yourselves." My voice gave up my location, and my terror grew as the prince's bodyguards started rushing towards me. The 2 security guards didn't even have guns. Once they saw the bodyguards' machine guns, they both ran back into the hotel. At least one of them pulled out his phone and called 911. That didn't help me very much. I was still a sitting duck, and they were approaching me fast. I stayed low and ran beside several cars. The only plan I could think of was to do a circle and hopefully track back towards the prince and use him as a shield. They saw me and opened fire again. "Ah, crap!" I gritted my teeth as the bullets sprayed all around me. I did a wide circle around the parking lot. Luckily, I knew the space a lot better than them. I made it back towards where I saw the prince was hiding behind the valet parking desk. I saw him facing away from me, snuck up on him, and wrapped my arms around the bastard's neck in a rear naked chokehold. My hands were trembling, and it felt like my entire body was on fire with how amped up I was. "If you move, I will put you to sleep, you arrogant prick. The help, as you call us, is about to teach you a little life lesson." He started wheezing from how hard I was choking and cutting off his air. His 2 bodyguards approached, machine guns aimed at us. My heart pounded. "Hold it right there. I'll end your boss unless you lower your weapons. Do it right now." They were hesitant. I said, "Drop your weapons." They both looked at the prince for permission. He nodded, signaling that they listen. They lowered their guns, and then both started slowly approaching me. "Stay back. I mean it. I'll end him." My mind was racing, and I had to fix this situation fast. I moved him towards the SUV and shoved him into the back seat. His bodyguards tried to open fire, and I ducked down, jumped into the driver's seat, and peeled out. As I took off, I heard bullets bounce off of the back of the SUV. Thank God it was bulletproof. I sped out of the parking garage and stared back through the rearview mirror at the prince. He had a quiet, cold look in his eyes. I made it out to the Vegas Strip and headed directly for the local FBI office. "You killed the love of my life and you're gonna pay." "Ah, so that's what all of this is about. That dumb little girl was your girlfriend." He giggled as if it was ridiculous. That sent me over the edge. My gut turned into pure, murderous rage. I saw a police baton on the seat next to me, which sparked an idea. I quickly pulled the SUV over on the side of the road, turned down an alley that was completely out of sight from any onlookers. "What the hell do you think you're doing? Making things right in the world." I stepped out, grabbed his fat ass out of the back seat, and hurled him down to the ground. "Please, no. I am the prince. You cannot do this to me. I am special. Not to me, dickhead." I beat the living hell out of that fat turd until he was unconscious. Every hit felt purely wonderful. I busted ribs, legs, arms, his nose. "You will be remembered for the vile little prick that you really are." I looked up and saw Adriana's face looking down at me in between the stars. She had that beautiful, sweet smile that I'll never forget. I tossed his broken, mangled ass back into the SUV and drove straight to the FBI office. I dragged the prince into the middle of the station, and the entire FBI stared at me, holding a beaten, bloodied sack of evil meat they call the prince. This might not look like it, but he's the guilty one. They arrested me and questioned the prince while paramedics tended to every busted bone in his entitled body. After they found their dead FBI agents in the parking garage, they slammed the book down on him and made it look like he walked in voluntarily to turn himself in. I was terrified because my hands weren't by any means clean after what I did to his bodyguard, but luckily, the FBI called it self-defense, and I was acquitted. I had the mortuary move Adriana's body out of the desert and place her in a normal grave near my house. I hold on to her engagement ring, visit her grave every Friday night, and hug her mom as we leave flowers. I love you, Adriana. Your memory will never be forgotten. As I kept visiting her grave with her mom, I got to meet every other woman that the prince abused that survived. They would sometimes visit the grave with me, and we all really supported each other. The coolest thing came after the prince's trial concluded. He was forced to pay $700 million in damages to myself and every woman he abused. It ruined him financially, and his own royal family exiled him. A year later, I heard that he gets passed around Nevada State Prison as the local bitch.